What's going on, Houston Texans fans? It's JP Football Fanatics back with you once again with another record prediction video for the Houston Texans for the 2023-24 NFL season. So, as far as the Texans go, they drafted number 2 overall and number 3 overall. Number 2, they received, or got at least, CJ Stroud from Ohio State. After that, they got a defensive player, linebacker of Will Anderson. So, with back-to-back first-round picks, where do you think the Texans are going to be this year? Do you think they're above 500? Do you think they're below 500? Do you think they're in the outside looking in as far as the playoff contentions go, or do you think they still have a long ways to go before they can even think about playoffs? Let me know in the comments down below as far as where you think the Texans are going to be. It's JP Football Fanatics telling you to please drop a like on this video and leave a comment down below and telling me what you think about the Texans going into this season. And if you have not done so already, you see that subscribe button? Please make sure to click on that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well, because when you hit that notification bell, I'm always posting new content every day. Not every day, but at least oftentimes I try to, at least, whether if it's live or it's pre-recorded. I do a lot of different things with this, and I want to help this channel grow to be bigger and better than what it is already. And I can't do that unless I get the support and help from you guys. And you guys have been doing such a phenomenal job with that. So please do all those things I ask you: like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, so you can help this channel grow to be bigger and better than what it is already. And with all that being said, everybody, let us get started with the 2023-24 season for the Houston Texans. So the Texans, as we all know, have now CJ Stroud, who very likely is going to be starting pretty much in week 1. And Will Anderson as the linebacker as well, who they drafted, is also going to be playing for this team as well. Should be a starter, of course. So I have a couple questions about the Texans. I think their future is looking bright. I think they got some nice pieces in the offseason so far, at least. But there are some questions that I do have as far as not so much coaching, but more in terms of like the quarterback play and, how well can this defense play? Like, are they going to be able to, not let Derrick Henry rush all over them for 200 yards every time they play every year? Are they going to be able to become a competent football team and trusting each other that they can definitely win some of these big dog games? And can they also rely on their quarterback, CJ Stroud, to get the job done for this team? Let's take a look at the schedule and see what we've got. First, the Texans open up the season with playing the Baltimore Ravens. CJ Stroud's NFL debut, is happening with playing the Baltimore Ravens. That one's an easy one to really analyze at this point in time right now. The Ravens should come out there and start 1-0 on the week. I mean, come on, it's the Ravens. Look at what they've done this year. So I don't want to go too much into detail about that. And, sorry, CJ Stroud fans and CJ Stroud himself and Texans fans, but you're not beating the Ravens in week 1. That's just not happening. Week 2, you play the Indianapolis Colts. I think you're going to split with the Colts this year, like I talked about when I did my Colts prediction video. I think you're going to split with them. You're going to lose to them in week 2, but you'll beat them later on eventually in week 18, the last week of the season, just like you did a year ago. Week 3, you play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Right now, I have you guys splitting with the Jags right now, so that's very likely that will happen. But right now, not splitting, I'm sorry. Right now, I do have Jacksonville sweeping you guys this year in week 3 and beating you in week 12. I do believe that is going to happen this year, but with one of those games in week 3 or in week 12, I can absolutely see the Texans beating the Jags in one of those weeks. So just throwing that out there. But I do believe Jacksonville is going to sweep you guys this year. Week 4, you play the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. A game that's, either way kind of a game. I think it's going to be an either way kind of game. But the Steelers are still going to beat you. I feel like, another tough defensive game that CJ Stroud has to open his career up with, getting to see Minkah Fitzpatrick and TJ Watt and all those guys. That's not going to be very easy or pretty. And we kind of get to see how Porter is going to do. Joey Porter, who was drafted in this year's draft as the cornerback, and we'll see how he does. If he gets the starting job this year, so that'll be cool. Week 5, you play the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. I think the Falcons are still going to beat you guys. Just because I like that Arthur Smith style of offense that he has provided. I think Bijan Robinson is going to do what he can to beef it up and be able to run the Houston Texans defense, especially that run defense that's been weak. So he could probably have a really big day for this game, but it could be a close, low scoring, kind of a fair game though too. So that's also something to look into. Week 6, you play the New Orleans Saints at home. Again, another game just like with the Falcons. I could see you beating them. I could also see you losing them though easily. But right now I'm probably going to go with the Saints to beat you guys in week 6. I think it's, Derek Carr, it's Chris Olave, it's Alvin Kamara. The defense is real good. Another tough defense for CJ Stroud that he'll have to face. So that's really tough right there. So CJ Stroud will go into the bye week and after week 7. So he's playing some really tough quarterbacks here. Lamar Jackson, maybe Anthony Richardson, but probably most likely Gardner Minshew he'll be playing. Trevor Lawrence, Kenny Pickett, Derek Carr. So there's a couple tough defenses here and quarterbacks that they're facing. So that'll be tough. But then you come off of the bye week in week 7 and go into week 8, and you play the Carolina Panthers. Now, this will be probably one of the biggest matchups of week 8 between the number 1 and number 2 quarterbacks that were taken. This would be a game that I would definitely love to cover on my channel this year, just to kind of see like how the number 1 and number 2 overall quarterbacks will be done. So I think this will be a really good close game. I think Bryce Young will play a good game here. I think CJ Stroud could also put up a good game too. But at the end of the day, Bryce Young, I think it was the right quarterback for the Panthers. Therefore, I think the Panthers win that game at home. Then in week 9, you play the Buccaneers at home. I think you guys have a legitimate shot at beating the Bucs. I really do. I don't see the Bucs really. I don't see them really. I mean, they probably could get a high pick this year. Just like the Texans, I think they'll be playing for another high spot. But I also think Baker Mayfield is also mistake prone too. He'll throw interceptions left and right. So I think you guys could get your first win of the season in week 9 against the Bucs. I really do think that, especially if you're playing at home and you're playing in the dome, you don't have to worry about the weather or anything. So that I can definitely see. Week 10, you play the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals should be able to beat you guys. I'm sorry, don't need to rub that in too much, but it's Joe Burrow, it's Jamar Chase. That's, I don't even think this defense will be able to slow them down. Week 11, you play the Arizona Cardinals, the worst NFL team right now as the date. I think it will be a tough game. I think it's going to be a game that could go either way. I think the Texans will at least be competitive, but I also do think they could be competing for that number 1 overall pick going into next year. Very likely it will be the Cardinals, so I think you guys can beat the Cardinals. We already talked about week 12 against Jacksonville. That could probably beat you, but you could also probably beat them as well at home. Week 13, you play the Denver Broncos. I think this is a game that's going to be like it was last year. I think it could potentially be a low-scoring affair game that could go really either way. Last year was not very pretty. The Texans really should have won that game last year in Denver. I could also definitely see that being the case again this year. So it's a defensive kind of game, low-scoring game. But I might take the Broncos, though. I mean, the Broncos have Sean Payton. As long as he's the coach and he can keep Russell Wilson under control as far as not really going off script that much, the Broncos should be able to win again this year. Week 14, you play the Jets. I think the Jets will beat you guys. The Jets defense is awesome. It's being played in New Jersey, and Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. He's going to put up a clinic in this game. Week 15, you play the Titans. I believe you're going to split with the Titans this year. I could see you guys beating them in week 15, and I could also see you guys losing them in week 17. Then you go to week 16, and you play the Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson's revenge game. Right now, Deshaun Watson is 1-0 against the Texans. I think he continues the winning ways, and the Browns beat you guys because I feel the Browns are a team that's going to be competitive week in, week out. And as long as Deshaun Watson is the guy that he says that he is, you know, he could really do some damage on the Texans. So, and then week 18, week 17 and 18, we talked about that. Titans will probably beat you guys at home, and you could beat Indianapolis on the road. So right now, I have you guys time with the Colts, and you guys will probably finish this year at least 4-13 yet again for, I believe, probably the fourth straight year in a row. I think it is fourth or third or fourth, fifth year in a row. So, I mean, I think you guys will be much more competitive this year. I think you guys have some nice key pieces, but I think you also have a kind of a tougher schedule for CJ Stroud. Like, got to play some tough defenses. Like the Ravens is a tough one. The Colts is a tough one. Twice that you got to play. The Steelers is tough. The Saints, the Panthers kind of can be tough. Bengals defense is not that bad either, but the Broncos and the Jets, the Titans twice. You got a lot of tough defenses here. So overall, the schedule really isn't that overly difficult, but it's difficult enough where one of these teams can do just that one little thing that the Texans can slip up on and let a win get away. And I feel like the Texans could also be very similar to the 2021 Detroit Lions. Like they could probably be in every game every single week, but still have a losing record. So that's how I kind of feel about the Texans this year. I don't think they're necessarily bad or the worst team, but I also don't think they're the greatest team on turf yet. And I think they need a lot more work to show for it. So what do you guys think about the Texans? Do you think they're a good team this year? Do you like the record prediction that I have of 4-13? Would you wish to see them do better this year? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. It's JP Football Fanatics telling you to please put a like on this video if you have not done so already, which means just give it the nice thumbs up. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well and hit the notification bell, because anytime that I post new content, whether it's pre-recorded or it's live, you guys will be the first ones to know about it. And therefore, if you want to be the first ones to know about it, please tune into everything that I do have to offer to this channel. And if you have any other suggestions of what you would like me to do in the near future, whether it's NFL content or news related, like NFL news related, please let me know. And I will definitely do my best to ensure that I get you guys the best entertainment and the best content that I can cover on this channel. It's JP Football Fanatics saying thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.